Your question number 69 reads, acromegaly in a child is called dash. Acromegaly in a child is called dash. Your time starts now.
Macrosomia.
Incorrect.
Giantism.
Correct. That was Team Livingstone.
It wasn't just something easy to find ourselves in the top 13 out of 31 schools.
We were scared. It wasn't easy. It was tough.
In terms of preparations, we had a challenge. Those guys, they gave us pressure. Especially,
Which team were you hoping to pick?
We were hoping to pick Kitwe. We never wanted to compete with Chikanka.
How did you feel at that moment? Because you were supposed to score that penalty so that your school wins.
The question was familiar, but then the answer had gone. Otherwise, I had lost my self-esteem.
We were so emotional. I almost cried. In fact, I cried.
You cried?
She cried.
Oh.
Well, it was a bit scary, but it was quite a familiar feeling. The quiz master was able to clarify some of them and explain. That was really a great and a learning opportunity that has been given to student nurses.
But there was a team that was given a mark
Yes.
after mentioning the answer, even after the timer.
But did that team win?
No.
From day one of the competition, did you think your team would win?
To be honest, I didn't think so.
Welcome to the Smart Podcast, where healthcare meets hustle. Each week, we bring you inspiring stories from nurses who've turned their clinical expertise into thriving businesses, innovative startups, and impactful ventures. Our guests share insights, challenges, and triumphs of merging compassion with commerce. Whether you're looking to elevate your nursing career or embark on an entrepreneurial journey, the Smart Podcast is your go-to resource for motivation and actionable advice.
Welcome to yet another special episode of the Smart Podcast. I am your host. My name is Kalava. And of course, it's good that today we are hosting the national winners. Of course, the national Smart-25 quiz. As you might be aware, most of us might have watched on various social media platforms where Elitrasmart Medical Supplies Limited, a leading company in healthcare attire, hosted the first ever national quiz for student nurses, which brought forth around 31 schools from across nine provinces of the country. And of course, the team joining me today on set on the Smart Podcast emerged as winners. I could say they were not so much the favorite of this competition, as they came from fighting relegation to winning the first prize. Livingstone College of Nursing and Midwifery were the winners, and it is my honor and privilege to host them on the Smart Podcast. Guys, welcome on the Smart Podcast.
Thank you so much.
Okay, Festus Likando, students, one of the winners who participated in the Smart Podcast. How does it feel to be winners?
Definitely, any other person would be happy, emerging victorious, looking at the way it was from the time we started. There were 31 schools, and of the 31, first 10 were supposed to be eliminated, and I think we were supposed to be in the 10 that were supposed to be eliminated first, but we had to fight. Not until we found ourselves in the top 21 when the first 10 were eliminated. Again, the time came when the other, is it 11? That were supposed to be eliminated so that 10 can remain. So we had a tie with two other schools. So
with Kitwe?
I think that was Kitwe, and which other school was that?
That was Chitambo.
Chitambo, yeah.
And Chitambo, yes.
Yeah. So we had a tie. So we need to break that tie. That was on the first day. So we needed to break that tie. Unfortunately, we couldn't do that because we were answering all the questions.
And failing some.
Yeah, and telling stuff. Yeah, we failed some. So we failed to break the tie. So we had to continue with the same program that was yesterday. We did so. Fortunately, we emerged victorious in that one. So we had to join the 9 schools, the 9 that had already qualified. We were the 10th one.
Well, the 10th school. Well done. Likando, how does it feel to be the winner of the national quiz?
It feels great because it was a tough game, but we managed.
Great. Interesting. Now let's take it back to the tiebreaker. You guys made it to the semi-final seemingly through that tiebreaker. How did you keep the cool in that high pressure moment? I know it was intense. On the first day, the tie couldn't be broken. Questions fired, schools answered equal points. Question fired, schools failed equal points, and back and forth. So the tie was pushed to the next day, which was actually the final day, isn't it?
Yes, that was
it was the final day, yesterday.
Yes.
So what was the moment like? What was the atmosphere? How did you keep your coin during that time?
That was bad. Because in the morning I was even telling these guys, like, but at least we've managed to find ourselves in the top 13. So, yeah, I think on my part I was okay with that because it wasn't just something easy to find ourselves in the top 13 out of 31 schools. So I think on my part I was okay with that. But then, fortunately, we managed to find ourselves in the top 10 schools, and that kept us going. We had to fight.
Likando, that moment, you are breaking the tie, and the quiz master is actually even instructing you, this is a one-word, one-attempt answer. How did you keep how was the atmosphere within your team?
We were scared because it wasn't easy. It was tough, and we were afraid. But teamwork helped us. We worked as a team, so that helped us.
How were you coordinating as a team? I would see some whispering to one another. How were you coordinating as a team?
So we were paying attention to the question being read. Then we'll discuss. We'll say, if this one knows the answer, then you tell the other. Just like that. Then we came up with the final answer, and then one would say the answer.
Nice. And I think, like everyone would say, to every winning team, teamwork is something that's magical. What added to that teamwork for you to make it work? Festus?
I think on that one, because we first sat as a team, so we agreed that if you know the answer, don't shout it out first. You have to confirm from your friends. So you tell your friends. You tell them your answer, if at all you know it. Then you discuss first before you say it out. So that's what we used to do. So, for example, if I know the answer, I first have to tell Rikando, so that if maybe there are some changes that we have to make on that particular answer of mine, we do so. Then somebody from the group mentions the answer. That's what we did. Otherwise, the most thing I think that helped us, it's teamwork. From the word go, we worked as a team. Yeah.
Interesting. Let's take it back to preparation. 31 schools participated, and it was an intense competition. Remember, it was a national quiz, and a lot came. You would see from the way you guys and your fellow students were responding to certain questions that everyone else was prepared. Let's take it back to your preparations. How were you preparing for this competition? When did you start preparing for the competition?
In terms of preparations, we had a challenge because we were not together.
Oh, okay.
Me and the other girl, we were already here in Lusaka for attachments at Cancer Diseases Hospital.
Oh, that's where you're doing your attachment from?
Yes.
Ah, nice.
Then Likando, remained in Livingstone with the other guy. So in terms of preparations, that was very challenging because studying alone for such programs like quizzes, it's very difficult to study alone because it's just one word answer. So sometimes you even feel lazy to do that alone unless maybe going through the notes. And I don't think it could be a better move to start going through the notes in preparations for the quiz. The best thing to do is to be going through the one-word answer questions. So it was very challenging, but at least we managed. Yeah.
So the two of you with your other partner, we are discussing these things.
Not really.
Not really.
No, we never used to discuss because we were getting tired every day. You report for work at 07:20. You go for lunch just for 1 hour. Then you get back for work again. You knock off at 16, and on the wards you stand throughout. So you get tired. By the time you knock off, just get back to the room, you sleep, just like that. Following day, you report for work, just like that. So it was just something challenging in terms of preparations. Yeah.
But how did you manage to adequately prepare?
I think what helped, because before coming for the attachments, it was just, I think, 2 weeks past, we had our mock exams. So we had prepared for the mock exams. So at least we still had that for the mock. I think that's what helped us. Otherwise, as in preparing for the quiz, it was quite challenging. We didn't prepare that much for that.
Ikando, you are left alone in Livingstone. Your two other colleagues are in Lusaka. How did you feel? Did you feel you would prepare adequately alone, or what was running through your thoughts?
I had some help from one of our partner. Yes, so we used to meet at 19. We would go through some questions from past papers, and that helped. But we were, in the first place, we were actually not ready. Like, we're not even willing to come. But then we're like, let's just give it a try. Let's try. Whatever the outcome will be, at least we went there. So, yeah, but in terms of preparation, it wasn't an easy one because we used to go for work on the ward. You get back, you are tired, time to go through. It wasn't just easy.
Yeah.
But I'm glad we're here today.
The spirit of a fighter, never to give up, not to even hold back.
Yeah.
And that is what you guys did. And look at where you are now, shining as the champions of the students' healthcare nursing profession, isn't it?
Yeah.
You, from the breaking the tie, you now join the other remaining 9 teams, making Livingstone. I think you scored, you passing into, is it 80 points or 85 points?
I think 85. That was 85, yes.
85, as the 10th team.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the lowest table of the league.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we had another session of the quiz. You guys managed again to... Were you on the 5 remaining teams? Where one was supposed to be eliminated?
Yes.
And we were the last
because we were on number 5.
Well, the number 5.
No. You guys came from...
Just from the start, we were like below. But at the end, we managed to be on top.
What just kept you going? Just make me understand.
Perseverance.
Yeah, I think that was just perseverance.
We never gave up. Yeah.
Interesting. That was interesting. So we have 5 teams. The judges say, and the quiz master has no option because he only needs 4 teams to proceed to the finals. To the semi-finals rather.
Yeah.
And It says we need to eliminate one. And you guys are amongst those ones who are supposed to compete for those the 4 slots.
Yeah.
And you managed to pull through.
Yeah.
But there's an interesting aspect to that. You know that the 4, of course, the 4 have gone and everything else because, of course, again, your points were a little bit lower. You soldiered on. Let's talk about picking of teams. From day one, Festus, which team would you say were, from your own analysis, your own understanding, looking at the quiz, the sessions, different sessions, which team would you point at and say, maybe 1 or 2 teams would say, these were, according to me, I thought they would win?
According to me, I think Yeta and Chikankata, because those guys, they gave us pressure. More especially Chikankata. They gave us pressure. And I think from the word go, after accumulating those points on the first day, Chikankata was topping. They had 120, I think, 25 points. And we
35.
Had 35, yeah. And we had 75. Yet I also had something like 100 somewhere 15. There. Yeah. So, in short, we were losing that courage. But we kept on fighting just like that, not until we had to find ourselves the winning team. Otherwise, the 2 teams, they gave us pressure.
Likando, your own analysis from the first day of the quiz to where you guys, which team did you think would carry the day?
Chikankata. Those guys, those guys are something else. They gave us pressure. But we managed to beat them.
So now you are the 4 teams remaining. And then the dice is being cast. Say, pick your team you're going to face head on in the finals. Which team were you hoping to pick?
Hoping to pick Kitwe. We never wanted to compete with Chikankata.
Festus, which team did you want to pick?
Like she mentioned, I was hoping to pick Kitwe, and fortunately, I think I picked Kitwe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think like you guys have like rightly put it, Chikankata was the favorite team because I think everyone else would see on how they were accumulating points, responding to questions. I think in the speed round, there was this time they had answered all the 10 questions, yes. Right. Yeah. And yeah, that was very good. It must have felt intense from you to just have them, having them as your opponent. Tell me about that moment.
I think what I can say on that one, I think how we managed to beat Chikankata, I think it was on the last questions. Because the last questions, I don't know where the quiz master found those questions. I'm telling you, those questions were something else. Those questions were hard. I remember at some point for message questions, I think that was it in the last round? Each team was supposed to answer 5 questions. 3 medical search connecting questions, 2 pediatrics questions. And then, as a team, each team was supposed to answer 2 medical search nursing questions. Then, 1 question was supposed to be answered by 1 individual from each school.
You need to pick who's going to represent your school.
To represent the school.
You felt that one, I remember.
I felt the question. I felt the question. I think that girl from Chikankata, she got it right.
Yeah, and then she equalized on equal points.
Yes, she
because
equalized.
If you had scored that
if I had scored that
you would have won.
Yes. So actually, that was supposed to be our winning.
Your winning point.
Yes.
How did you feel at that moment? Because you were supposed to score that penalty so that your school wins, and then you failed to score. You failed to answer the question. Your school is now.
And My teammates were all dependent on me. Not only my teammates, everybody else who were in support of us, they were depending on me. So now the question, after the quiz master read the question, the question was familiar, but then the answer had gone completely. So I started thinking, could it be osteosarcoma? Could it be myosarcoma? Unfortunately, I gave the answer a first name instead of just mentioning the surname, because the answer was supposed to be sarcoma. Instead, for the first attempt, I mentioned osteosarcoma. For the second attempt, I mentioned myosarcoma.
Oh, yeah.
For the second attempt, I just said wrong.
Incorrect.
And you were... moments like
I
that.
almost cried, I'm telling you, I almost cried. Because what came into my mind was, everybody was looking up to me to say, he will make it. So, it was bad. But fortunately, my teammates, when they came back to the podium, they encouraged me. So at least that motivated
you
me
and kept
again.
you going.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Otherwise, I had lost my self-esteem after failing that question.
Likando, going back to the scenes of the national quiz here on stage, what are some of the moments that you say, okay, this was emotional, this was fun, this was intense for me? What moment was it for you? Festus almost cried after failing to answer a question.
At some point when we failed to give a correct answer, that was distressing. So we're like, so if we don't make it now, then we're gone. And then some emotional parts was when we gave the time that we were having a tie, when we managed to be the winners of the tie. That one was we were so emotional. I almost cried.
She cried.
In fact, I cried.
You cried?
She cried.
Oh my, sorry.
I cried. Just to be on the top 10. And then we came down to top 5, then 4, then top 2. Now on the top 2, that's where the pressure was. We're encouraging each other. No, at least we've managed to reach this far. So whatever happens, it's okay. At least we're here.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Interesting. Any encouragement from your lecturer?
She's been so supportive. Yeah, she was there for us. Yes.
And as we conclude, because I need to also speak to your lecturer as well and your other teammates. How did you find the quiz? Was it fair? How would you rate it? What do you think should be done going forward? Should it stop? Should it continue?
It just needs to continue. Otherwise, it's so helping, because there are a lot of things that we have learned out of this quiz. You know, some answers that were mentioned, we really didn't know about them. But after this quiz, at least we've known a lot of things. So we firstly need to appreciate Elitrasmart Limited for coming up with such an initiative. It's a good initiative, you know, bringing together nursing schools just to have such kind of functions. I think it's a good move for the nursing fraternity. It's something good. Then when it comes to the quiz itself, how it was, I think the quiz was just okay. There was fairness, I think, yeah. But I think I just have to mention this. We were the winners. Yes. And Chikankata was
The second.
the second.
Mhm.
But then when we look at how we are given the prizes, we are okay with how prizes we are given. Those guys, they deserve that because they are real fighters.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know how that can be done. It's a suggestion.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you look at the money that we were given as the winners, we were given a 30,000 kwacha, and Chikankata was given a 20,000 kwacha, which was nice. And I think the best student is from Chikankata. That girl deserves that. Yeah, also the best tutor from Chikankata. So when we compile the money,
But we are the national champions.
yeah, we were the champions, but when it comes to money, Chikankata actually got more than the champions. So they deserve that. We deserve that. So I don't know. The next time, I think when we have at least the champions should have something better than the second team.
I'm sure the judges will look into it, and the organizing committee as well.
Sure, we are looking after that.
Indeed, you need money. You need more money.
Motivation.
Motivation.
That's much motivation. Likando, Sam, how would you rate the quiz?
At some point, it wasn't fair, but it went well. Yes.
Yeah, it's a competition.
Yeah,
And whenever we have participants, it always seemingly look unfair.
Yeah.
But it's always fair. There's no predetermined winner. Who would have thought you guys would have won?
No one.
You see? So yeah, I think I expected it wasn't fair. What and everything else. But look at you. No one expected that you would win. You guys didn't expect you would win.
Actually, we were very underrated.
You are the underdog.
Yeah.
So what part of the unfairness is that?
So at some point, because we're given 10 seconds to answer. Yes. So the moment the buzzer rings, then we're not getting marks. Some other schools would say the answer when the buzzer has already gone, like it has already rung.
And they were awarded.
Yes,
points.
they were given. And then some, like us, we were not given that one. In fact, I think it's one of the things that's caused us to have a tie, because we were not given a mark when we said the answer after the buzzer has already rang, but it was just 10 seconds then.
Yeah, but I think it was unfortunate for you because you've rightly said you gave an answer after the buzzer.
No,
it
like
wasn't
the
after.
moment.
Actually, it was the moment it rang. It was
Yes.
ringing.
But it was 10 seconds.
No,
down.
but okay,
So
others were given
it
marks.
rings after 10 seconds. It's done, doesn't it?
But there was a team that was given a mark
Yes.
after mentioning the answer, even after the timer.
But did that team win?
No, it didn't. We did.
Yeah, so I think in all fairness, it was okay. It's a competition, of course. The judges, the quiz master, the organizers. I think it's the first time it was happening. A lot of things have been learned, and I think you saw the improvement from the first day to the second day and on to the final day. A lot kept on changing, and the things kept on improving, so that we try to have all fairness, transparency, and accountability in all possibilities. But such I expected, because it's a human competition.
Yeah.
And we hope to improve next year. No, thank you very much, you guys, for joining me on Say It today. Let me just have now your colleague and the lecturer, so that I also briefly speak to them, just trying to get some insight from them. So this, you are watching the Smart Podcast, hosted by me, of course, and of course this Smart Podcast is being sponsored by Elitrasmart Medical Supplies Limited. your number one healthcare provider of attires. So you are looking for a medical attire? Elitrasmart is the way to go.
Welcome to the Smart Podcast, where healthcare meets hustle. Each week, we bring you inspiring stories from nurses who've turned their clinical expertise into thriving businesses, innovative startups, and impactful ventures. Our guests share insights, challenges, and triumphs of merging compassion with commerce. Whether you're looking to elevate your nursing career or embark on an entrepreneurial journey, the Smart Podcast is your go-to resource for motivation and actionable advice.
Thank you for joining me. I was just having a very nice chat with Likando and Festus. Just having a little chat of how it went. How does it feel, Jessie, to be amongst the champions? You're a national champion.
Yes, please.
How do you feel?
It feels, I really have mixed emotions. It feels amazing, and being the national champions is quite a privilege.
I asked them when they were on stage, and of course, just their own analysis from the first day to the second and to the finals, their own analysis. I told them, and they have agreed that you guys were not the favorites to win.
That's true.
Which team did you think would carry the day?
Chikankata Oyeta.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
Tell me about that part when you were about to face Chikankata, because you are picking them as one of those ones to contest.
Yes.
Head on in the finals.
Well, it was a bit scary, but it was quite a familiar feeling because we had faced them previously during the provincials. Yes, so of course it was a bit scary looking at the number of points that they had accumulated in the previous round. Yes, so we were up for the task.
Interesting. Madame Chapelle.
Yes, sir.
From the tiebreaker, making it to the quarterfinals on 10th position, you were the least in the group. What did you do? What magic? Rituals, magic, jokes to the team? What did you do to make them survive to the end?
Wow. That was pressure indeed, especially from when we were fighting for the 10th position. I was really under pressure, and I could see that my team was really under pressure. But I tried my best to be calm for their sake. At least maybe it will give them some support, or it will give them some morale. And then even you could see to say that when they were doing the tiebreaker, where we sat and where their desk was, there was a very big speaker that was obstructing us. So each time they would go, I would definitely move to a seat where I was able to face them. At least I felt maybe them seeing me, it would give them some courage to say that we are in this together. Because I felt if I was on the other side, hidden by the mic, the speaker, it would be as if they are on their own. And just being on your own when you are under pressure, it doesn't give you that hope. So I felt like maybe being somewhere where they are able to see me, the feeling would at least give them some sense of being around some people who are there to give them much hope.
From day one of the competition, did you think your team would win?
To be honest, I didn't think so, because the way it was going, especially when the first questions were asked, when we were having questions, the true or false questions, I could see to say that it was a chance, it was a game of chance. And then my prayer was to say, if only they can pick questions also that would give them an opportunity to have the correct answer. And then when the elimination day came, we realized to say that at least we were not in the first 10 that were eliminated. And then what also gave me a little bit of pressure is we didn't know our score when we remained the 21 schools. Then when the chief judge came to call out the remaining 10 that's when now, at first it was like I was busy counting as I was getting the scores, the marks, and then we reached 10, and I was able to say that is our mark. But again, they called another school, and then we found ourselves among the 12 schools, and then the pressure was real. It was mounting and mounting and mounting. But wow, I feel it's just the favor of God that was upon our team. Just starting from the beginning.
I remember there was a time when the two tutors accompanying the two teams were called to the stage. I have forgotten what might have made to that break. And then you went to where the teams were seated. What were you telling them?
I think that was the moment when we were asked to say we're supposed to identify one member who's going to represent the team. Yes. Knowing my team, I know who's better in which course and who's stronger in the other course.
That was message, isn't it?
Yes. So that when I went there, I asked them. For sure, I could have my own observation, but they know themselves better. So we had a discussion. And then that's how they picked on Festus to say they know Festus is best in message, and that's how he represented us.
How did you feel when Festus failed to answer that question? Because Festus was supposed to make your team win.
For sure.
But when he was picked to represent the team, he stood, and when the quizmaster fired that question, Festus couldn't respond. That point would have earned you victory at that point.
Very
How
true.
did you feel?
I froze. I froze, and then I tried not to show it to them. I bent down trying to hide my face, and then I realized to say that again it is going to demotivate them. And then I tried to be stronger again to make sure at least I give them more hope. And then when the other team also scored, they couldn't get the correct answer, at least I just felt so peaceful. My heart was just at rest, and at least I started believing to say that my team is the best.
Yeah, and you did well.
Thank you.
Jesse,
Yes.
You are a team, questions being fired and everything else. What was the most, when we go back to the quiz, what is the most moment you remember which made you feel like this is intense, this is quite crazy, this is emotional, what's that moment that just made you not to be at ease?
I think from the very beginning, just walking onto that stage, it was really intense. Not knowing what question you would choose, it really gave us that anxiety moving forward. So when we couldn't break the tie to make it to the top 10, and also when we only were supposed to have 4 teams to make it to the semifinals, that was very intense as well. And the last part was when we chose Festus, and that was the winning question if he had answered that. But unfortunately, he couldn't. So that on its own was very intense. Couldn't even explain what was going on there.
Why did you take up that question?
Well, just like the madam said, in our team, we knew who had strength in this particular course and who had strength in that particular course. So we chose him to say, you're good in message and you can represent the team very well. So that's the main reason why we chose him and not me.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I asked him as to what happened when he couldn't respond to that question. He froze. Like, he knew the answer, but it somehow mixed. He knew the question. He had already looked at it in various books and everything else. But when the question came, there was a mixture of mixed thoughts and everything else. And you are racing against 10 seconds. Mm-hmm. You have to give the best answer.
Yes.
I spoke to Likando and Festus, like I'm mentioning. They mentioned that you guys were not as a team in terms of the preparation and doing the research and everything else to prepare for this quiz. Where are you?
So, Likando was in Livingstone,
Mm-hmm.
and Festus and I were still here in Lusaka.
You're also doing attachments?
Yes, by Cancer Disease Hospital. Yes. So in terms of preparations, we were really lacking behind because some of our teammates were still back home and the two of us were here. And most of the times we spent almost like 8 hours to 10 hours at the wards. And then when you get back at the boarding house, you're tired and you cannot even go through anything. So that was quite challenging for us.
How did you manage to do a little bit of research?
Well, I think that the quiz came at a very right time because it was at a time when we had just from writing our mock and we were preparing for our mock, and that preparation also helped us to even use the information that we had previously to also be able to answer those questions during the quiz. So in terms of preparations, the quiz just came at the right time where we're having our mock, and also the fact that in as much as we were not really equipped for the quiz, but preparations still went on as we look forward to the NMCZ examinations.
Interesting. Madam Chapela, we had a David Goliath time for your team and Team Jigankata. How did you feel when your students picked Team Jigankata as their opponent? Of course, it was because they had. But what was the feeling when? Because from performance, Team Jigankata performed extremely well, and then your students are facing them in the finals. What was the feeling?
I believed in them, as she mentioned, to say that we already had an experience with them when we're doing our provision, and I know they are best, they are good, and I also know that my team is good. So it was like, yes, I know it was like a team of like a fight of big elephants fighting. Definitely one of them has to definitely win. But I felt, yes, it's either us or them. But the way the tie breaking went through and through, I just knew to say it was just by chance that either one of us is definitely going to win. It would have been them, depending on how we picked the questions, or it could have been us, and it finally fell on us.
How would you say this quiz has an impact on students who are about to write their exams, or even those ones just in school?
All right. I feel it is so, as she said, it has come at the right time, and I feel it is really pushing students to study extra and to even like start grading themselves. I'm sure a lot of students were able to watch, and they were able to even try to attempt the answers from wherever they were watching from. So from whatever you are watching, wherever you're watching from, and if you are not able to answer, definitely it gives you a hint to say that I think I need to work hard. I think I need to go and study more and more and more. And the other observation that I saw, yes, most of the questions were coming from MedSurg, pediatrics, leadership and management, and mental health. But I feel one of the courses that most students did not perform well, especially on answering it, was the IRH topic. And it challenged me a lot because that is the course that I teach. So it gave me some hint to, or maybe something to tell me to say that I think we need to put more effort, and we need to try to strategize on how to help the students understand, especially when questions are asked, how they are supposed to go about them. And we really need to do something, especially on that course, because that one really gave me something, like it triggered me to say that I think I need to work hard. And then I'm sure even my fellow lecturers who teach that very course, I'm sure it is pushing them, or maybe it has pushed them to say that at least they need to do something to help the students understand, or maybe the students even themselves, they need to put enough pressure or maybe energy on that course as well, because it feels as if it really shook most of the students. Yes, sir.
Are you participating next year?
Yes, we are.
Ready to defend the champions?
Yes.
Well done. Jesse, as we conclude, you are the champions. You are preparing your exams, doing your attachment, as it has been said. How do you rate the Smart-25 national quiz for student nurses? How has it impacted you? How was it for you as an individual?
Well, for me, it was a great learning opportunity. We learned a lot. The good part was, in as much as the schools were giving some wrong questions, and wrong answers, the quiz master was able to clarify some of them and explain. That was really a great and a learning opportunity that has been given to student nurses, and I hope this can go on and on, so that as student nurses, it only does not end with participating at the quiz, but also moving forward, being able to apply what we've learned as well from the quiz and being able to give the correct service using that information that we have.
Interesting. What was the most entertaining moment at the quiz?
Wow. Roy.
Okay.
Yes. For me, when Roy was singing, wow, it was nice.
It was able to at least give you some
Motivate
some morale to keep on going.
Yes, and I also think the time that Maki took him in, his songs, the favor song, it really motivated us because we were at a breaking point. We didn't have so much courage moving on, but with so much that was put in place by the organizers, all those musicians that came through, their songs really tried to motivate us moving forward as well.
Interesting. Now, speak to Mrs. Chappelle has mentioned that you are ready to defend the national trophy next year. Speak to the students who are going to be in your position next year to represent your school, Livingstone College of Nursing and Midwifery.
Well, to my fellow students back home, they have witnessed what has gone on from the very first day of the quiz to the last day. So my message to you is continue working hard, and may we not just prepare for the quiz and defending the championship, but we should also prepare in order to understand what we are doing as nurses going forward.
So, as we conclude, Madam Chapela, what would you think the organizing team of the national quizzes, Smart-25, Elitrasmart, and other stakeholders should work on next year to even improve it more for our students?
Okay, I would suggest that as we plan for 2026, we also include other faculties in the nursing profession, because we also have the registered nurses. It's not only the registered nurses, but we also have the midwives. We also have the public health nurses. So I would feel to say that it would also help the midwives and the public health nurses also have the opportunity to come and participate and also showcase their potential.
Indeed, that would be interesting, and of course we are going to have a wide range of those schools. Interesting. Jessie, thank you very much for joining me on set. Madam Chapela, thank you as well for joining me on set on the Smart Podcast. And there you have it. We have been trying to have in and review the National Smart-25 quiz. Of course, Elitrasmart Medical Supplies Limited hosted the Smart-25 National Quiz at the Levi Mwanawasa Medical University, where we saw 31 schools representing 9 provinces of Zambia competing for the national trophy. And Livingstone College of Nursing and Midwifery emerged as winners, of course, competing with a team which was almost favorite, Jikankata College of Nursing and Midwifery. But of course, we have insights, and of course, the team is excited and they are ready to defend the trophy next year. Many thanks to Elitrasmart for such wonderful initiatives, and we look forward to seeing such initiatives as we go by. And of course, them being the main sponsors of the Smart Podcast, we want to say thank you very much for them for the good work they are doing in trying to improve healthcare across Zambia and across the African region. I have been your host, Kalaba Kalaba. Thank you for joining me. Till next week.